Hello, everybody, and welcome to Silent Podcast, a place that where everything but silent. I am your host, Isaiah, and I am here with my lovely co-host, Sabrina. And Lance will possibly be here. He had a couple tech issues, but he told us to start without him, and he will possibly be joining us later in the night. But if he is not, I'm running solo with Sabrina. Sabrina, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Oh my god, what the...
Amazing way to start the podcast.
I was using my DS case to hold up my iPad, and it just completely fell out of nowhere.
I'm so sorry.
Oops. Okay, well, besides that, great. I just finished some chocolate milk and just chilling out. It was kind of a busy day, so I'm happy to decompress a little bit.
Okay. And we are here to talk about Total Drama, like I said earlier, because this is the Total Drama rewatch for me, but this is the first watch for Sabrina and Lance. We are here to talk about episodes 13 and 14, I believe. Mm-hmm. They have been begging for this moment the entire season. Sorta. They wanted it to be a single game, but we're not there. We got a tribe swap. So that's in episode 14, so we're going to talk about that more. But before we get into the specifics, Sabrina, how did you feel about episodes 13 and 14?
I really liked episode 13 because it was another, I guess, key player left, which was interesting. And then there's a lot of twists and turns and things we haven't really seen yet. So that was really fun to watch. Yeah, I really liked it. It was good.
All right, so we're going to hop into episode 13 first, like usual, and it's going to start off with everyone thinking that they can relax for some reason, and Chris is going to get himself involved somehow, some way. He wakes everyone up, and we find out today is going to be an extreme challenge. And when they say extreme, honestly, I don't know what they might have been running out of ideas for challenges and was just let's just do whatever we find. But it was a hectic day in Camp Wawanakwa. The first thing we find out is that they're going to have to I believe it was tame they have to ride on the back of a moose for the first part of it. Am I wrong?
Was the second part. That was the
second part. What was the first part?
The first part was the skydiving.
And it was the loser would have to sit in a pile of dirty socks or something. I forget.
That was for the moose bucking.
Okay.
For the skydiving, if you lost, you just died. Basically.
That's right. Oh god. That's what I'm saying. I'm just Chris is running out of challenge ideas, and they're just getting a lot more violent. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead.
No, whenever he was talking about it's extreme, I was just thinking about the Vine, oh, he on X Games mode. Have you seen that Vine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is
Everybody loves that Vine. But yeah, he's reusing all of his props. He's using the plane again. He's using his same Luke Skywalker outfit. Whenever he first flew in with the outfit, I was am I watching the same episode again? I was really confused for a second. But, yeah.
Now, the beautiful thing, and I think what motivated everyone to participate, was the fact that the winner of this whole challenge can actually take a real shower.
Yeah.
A lot of people stunk out there, so they can actually shower. And this was motivation for a lot of people who didn't really care about this challenge to actually try for one. So that's interesting there.
Exactly.
So we're going to see a few people skydive here. Oh well, before we even get to that, they gotta deliberate and talk with each other and everything, and we're going to go to the mess hall, and we're going to see Gwen and Bridget find a haiku love poem left behind, and it was to a secret admirer. And basically, this is the first time we've seen these two actually interact because they're on different teams. But they seem to be cordial until they get into a petty argument because Bridget's oh, mate, what if Jeff wrote it? And then Gwen's oh, what if Trent wrote it? And they're just they just start going back and forth because they're oh, your person's too dumb. Your person's too dumb. So it's just because it's really petty. What did you think about Gwen and Bridget's little one-off rivalry here about their crushes?
I thought it was was funny because like you can tell like at this point like Gwen really does have feelings for Trent, and like
Yeah.
I like how they're both like standing up for like their. It's not even like their man. Like it's like their crush that they have mutually, but like they haven't really done anything about it. But they're both like, no, mine's better. Mine's better. And I mean, Gwen is like speaking the truth. Jeff with a G is kind of dumb, but Bridget's not having it. But it's definitely like whenever I first heard it, my initial guess was Trent because he writes songs. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then for Bridget to even think it was Jeff, it's kind of funny to me because like there's no way. But I like their interaction because I'm like, I want to see it become like an alliance of some sort because we talked about Gwen, how she has her alliance with Trent, but like not really much beyond that. Maybe a little bit of Lashana, but like nothing like official. So, and then Bridget's kind of on her own in general. So I want that to happen, like the two of them to become like closer.
And it's cool because actually now that I think about it as we're talking, there's not a lot of like cross team interactions actually the first half of the season either. So that would be cool to see. I think that would bring a lot of cool dynamics. And I mean, we saw that a lot going into the next episode, but like I said, we'll get there. But yeah, that's their rivalry for the episode. So we're gonna finally get to the challenge, and it's skydiving. Chris, like we said, Chris likes to see them jump off of things for some reason. So basically Trent seems like, oh, I'm down, like I should be fine. And basically Gwen's just like trying to figure out if Trent's making the haiku, and he's like, what?
Yeah. I don't know what she said. It was so weird. I'm just like,
she was like, did you think that Trent, I mean, do you think doing this is like he's doing the skydiving like a form of self-expression, like haiku?
Oh yeah. I know it's like for the show, but like in my opinion, like if that was a thing where like I was trying to figure out who was writing something, I would just straight up ask like, hey, did you write this? Like I don't know, like I think maybe I'm more an upfront person, but like I just think it's so funny that like they went through all this like weird questions to try and figure out who it was. Like I don't know, I would have been so much more direct.
Honestly, yeah, I keep forgetting how old they're supposed to be in this show because they don't act their age, so it just it gets confusing a little bit. But that's what we got going on there. The other thing is the other person that's going to be jumping is DJ, and you know how much of a coward DJ is.
DJ.
So this was never going to go well. But
they picked DJ for that, I was like, oh no.
I don't know, but you know what? They felt like DJ was fit to do it, so it's DJ versus Trent for this. Now they have to land on a couch. I don't know if that's the best thing, but that's.
Oh my god! Whenever Chef like jumped on it to test it and it like swallowed him, I was like, oh my god.
They just like using Chef in this for like anything nowadays.
Chef is gold in anything. Like every little like 2-second bit that he does to like explain the challenge just makes like the episode makes me so happy.
So we're going to see Trent when he jumps. I believe what happened with him specifically. Oh yeah, so DJ pushed him off by accident. He was just like patting his back. And Trent just lands face into the sand. Trent is like used as like a hurt plot device these past couple episodes.
When did Trent become the person to get hurt in every challenge? Because I feel like at first he was fine, and then out of nowhere he started getting hurt, and then it was like every single challenge. I'm like, is there gonna be an episode where he makes it to tribal council like without being in the infirmary? Like I don't understand. Like.
See, I don't even remember like Trent being like the punching bag until like in rewatch this. I'm like, dang, like Trent was really like he keeps getting hurt. I didn't remember that. Like he got a crate thrown at his head, he got poisoned by the fish, and then now he got this. So it's like, dang, Trent had it rough.
Seriously, he really did.
And then you got DJ. He literally opens the parachute right when he jumps off, and then when he lands into the couch, he like gets folded inside, and everyone just left him there. So I thought that was funny. The best part was, I think, what happened. I think Bridget was trying to get Jeff to talk about haiku or something
Yeah.
for the first time, and then he tried to show a butt tattoo
Yeah,
during
because
this.
she was like, "What's? Do you know what's like super romantic?" And she was trying to say like a poem, but he's like, "What?" I can't remember the first thing he said, but he's like, and she's like, "No, the written word or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, a tattoo. Yeah, I got one on my butt. You want to see it?"
He did that twice too. He was like,
Yes.
I'm like, why do you keep showing these people your butt? Like,
Yeah,
come on
exactly.
now.
There was so much nudity in this show, like for a children's show. Like, what is going on? Who wrote this show?
I'm
Who
very
did
curious to
this?
see your thoughts on. But so we get to the moose thing,
Yeah.
and like we said, Jeff completely fails trying to show his butt tattoo again, and he gets kicked
Yeah.
off into the dirty socks,
Yeah.
whatever. So there you go for that. And I think who's doing it for the other team? Was it Lashana?
Yeah.
There you go. And Lashana wins it for that team. So I
Yes.
mean, it was a straightforward episode. There's not a lot of strategy here. There's a lot like character development, like we talked. So that's fine.
Mhm.
Oh, another funny bit, by the way, just to comment about it, was the bear with the marshmallows, like his little storyline the whole
Poor
episode.
little bear. He just wants some marshmallows. He got hit with like he was in the outhouse and the outhouse got destroyed, and then all the moose trampled all over his little marshmallows. And I was like, oh, like he just wants some marshmallows. Poor thing.
So next thing we have is Harold, and he's speaking about how he's going to gain some respect after this challenge. Interesting, by the way, for Harold, because I would think, at least coming into this, that they were really build up on that last episode for him with the vote switch.
Yeah.
Did not talk about that, so I
No.
guess they never found out that he was the real cause for all that, which is okay, interesting.
Yeah. I know it was kind of weird too, because it seemed like it was such a pivotal part of the game that you would think it would be elaborated on a little bit more. But like it didn't even come up in conversation. Even with like
Yeah.
I was hoping that like maybe the conversation would continue of like the guys being like, what happened? Like, did you vote for her? Did you do this? Like, who did this? Like, and then talking about it, and then like Harold, being all sneaky about it. But yeah, it didn't even like go on past that. So that was kind of odd.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So basically, before we get to the third part, which is the jet ski stuff, Bridget and Gwen are like, all right, it's neither one of our guys, but we should figure out who did write this.
Yeah.
And process elimination, they're like, it's not Harold, because he's a Harold.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they were like, it's not what they said, it's not Duncan because of Courtney. So they were like, process of elimination, it has to either be DJ or Owen.
Yeah.
And what DJ was very snarky here. He was like, what happened? Bridget was like, did you make any poems lately? And he was like, did you ask any like random out of nowhere questions lately or something? I was like, ooh, that was mean.
Bridget's like, okay.
I don't know that side of DJ, so I'm just like, oh, okay. And then Owen, when Gwen asked him, he's just being Owen, like Owen, disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we get to the skiing challenge. I guess this is the most action, any out of this whole episode. So Heather is driving for her team, and her objectives to get Harold to drop, and basically Harold is just like the luckiest man in the world. Like, seriously. Honestly, Harold's like a comp beast, because in Island he wins a lot. Yeah,
he wins. And that's what I don't understand. Like he's talking about like, I want to get respect in this game and whatever, and it's like he's winning comps. And still nobody's like giving him the time of day. And like he's like won multiple challenges that like have been like determining challenges for his team. And still nobody cares. And like nobody gives a crap about him. It's like I don't get it. And like he's about to do it again. Like he's like
maybe it's because he leaves his dirty underwear around.
Probably. That's probably
true. Hey, what's up, Lance?
Hey, Lance, you made it.
But we're just getting into almost finishing up episode 13. We just got to the jet skiing part, where basically Heather's driving the thing, and she knows, she's like, all right, Harold's about to win this. I'm getting desperate, and she's getting ready to cut the line, and then next thing you know, a branch catches her shirt and it breaks it, and then Like her top, like she's naked, basically. You know.
Who wrote this? Like, who wrote this for a children's show on a children's network? Who decided like this was gonna happen? I was just like, yeah, I'm shook.
Lance, what's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, when I first saw it, I had a recollection because I think I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, when we first started the podcast, I saw this exact clip, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh wait,
from this series, but am I cutting out?
oh no, you're
Internet
good.
is trash right now.
No, you're good.
Bear with me. Internet is trash. But so it was just really funny to see that. Remember, this is a show for 16-year-olds. Like this, everyone's supposed to be 16, and the obscenities that we have seen throughout this series is
Seriously
crazy. But it really showed a lot. Like for me, episode 13 was very interesting because it really started showing where people were staying, and you know, as things going on, because the numbers are dwindling down. I'm surprised they're still in tribes at this point. So, yeah,
agreed.
Yeah. And just to close out the challenge portion, because I mean, you know, Harold sees her chest and then he gets mesmerized, and then that's when he loses. But the other side, when Duncan tries to like mess Lindsay up, and she's like also very lucky, and it's interesting because she's usually really bad at challenges, but this was her best performance, and she wins it for her team, and they get the shower, and everything is good over there for the Killer Bass. Lastly, to close out this Gwen and Bridget storyline of trying to figure out who wrote the poem, they find out that it was for Lashana. It's not for them. So they're like shocked. They're like, "Whoa! I thought it was, you know." But Lashana's like, "Nah, that's for me." Like what y'all doing?
Like, I know it's for me. It's just this is me.
Now, ultimately, we get to the bonfire ceremony, and Harold gets voted out because I guess he lost it for his team, and Harold was supposed to go last round, so it made sense why he got voted out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Now, he's bidding his farewell. He's saying that I lost, and, I saw boobs, I get all that. And they're like, wait a minute, love, and they were like, wait, that's they were like, who did you love? And he's like, wait, you're the one who wrote the letter. So we, it's interesting. We started off with seeing Harold saying Lashana is large and loud, and then he ended up falling in love with Lashana by the end of his game. So Harold and Lashana, they share a kiss. Harold gets sent on his way, but who saw this coming? Honestly, I did.
I saw it coming. I saw it from the moment when he was like judging her for the beginning. It was like he wasn't judging her in a negative way. Like a lot of us took it in a negative way, but he definitely was mesmerized by what he saw because he's never seen a woman like that. Right. So I honestly saw it coming. I didn't initially see like the haiku being written from him because we had all these other budding relationships. Yeah, I didn't. But I could see his infatuation with Lashana. I saw it in some shape or form. But he was playing such the cool, calm, collective guy, and his interests seemed to show for other people. So I see where you on the other hand also said like you didn't see it coming. Like it's a mix.
And that was probably my favorite exit so far. It was just cute. Like he was just like, oh, he's like everything's good. I had a good time. And then it's like he proclaimed his love to Lashana, and they kissed, and it was cute. And then Chef had a confessional.
Hell yeah.
Chef had a confessional, and he dragged his ass off. Like, all right, this is enough. Get your ass gone. Goodbye.
He was like, I didn't see that coming.
I was like, what is he doing?
Do you guys support the Lashana and Harold relationship here?
Yeah, I thought it was cute.
I wish we would have been able to see more. Like, I wish Harold wouldn't have went home so we could actually see it.
They leave. Like Courtney and Duncan, they all left.
And also, I'm so upset that nothing got resolved from the Courtney scandal of last episode. Like,
we just said that, yeah.
I'm over it. I'm still upset by it.
And we didn't even get anything out of it. It's just like she just got voted out, and then no one even talked about it after.
Yeah, and then he's voted out this week. So it's like
it, like didn't
my girl could have stayed in one more round if you was gonna do all that, babe. Because I feel like she had more of a trajectory than he ever would have had. So him going this week is not surprising, but at the same time, he had a story arc. So it was kind of confusing to see him go after this big story, this big jump last week of his move. But also with everyone against him last week, why wouldn't they be against him again this week? So
right.
I think the writers brought real world logic into it, and they were like, "Wait, they're like, if this is like Big Brother or something, Courtney was really about to be in a spot to like run the rest of the game, and they were like, oh shoot, like we need something interesting because what Courtney would have had Duncan, who is connected to the guys, and then plus Jeff is connected to Bridget, so that would have been like what." 5 people led by Courtney, and then Courtney would have ran the game, but they were probably like this is a little too much. Like we gotta change it up, So that's probably why they did that in hindsight. But I wish Courtney stayed.
Same.
Now before we move on to episode 14, how do you guys rank episode 13 on a scale of 1 to 10?
I really liked it. I would say like 8.5. I like
it. It was really high up there for me too. I felt like it was a lot of different things going on. Yeah. And it kept me invested in it. And it kept me wondering like what's next for this series. Because it's like it's not too many flotter and fluff people left. Like the people that are flotter and fluff have slowly been rising. Except for Bridget. Well, Bridget this was her episode, like when she's been rising. So it's interesting. We'll see.
Now, going into episode 14, it is final 10. 5 guys, 5 girls. So Chris is like, he must have heard you guys, because he was like, it's time to shake it up. We're going to have basically Survivor One World, but in Total Drama Island. Yeah. Boys versus girls. So completely shaken up. We're going to get to the specifics. But that's like the big thing for this episode. So let's get into it. So we keep seeing Chef and Chris like laughing a bunch of times when he has all the people in the mess. I thought that was so funny where they kept.
I thought at first that they were joking about it, no one going home, because I'm like, I need someone to go home every week. And then with a guys versus girls twist, especially on the girls' side, as we saw how it was basically divided, and freaking Bridget is the deciding vote if they will go to any type of elimination. So I was so mad that Chef and Chris was so set on like, oh, no one's going home this week. It's all for reward. Let's just get the drama going. But this could be something that sets up the trajectory for the end game. So we'll see.
Now, before we get to the challenge, we might as well talk about each team as a whole. So, I mean, it's in terms of content. I mean, I think the girls is the easiest to tackle first. Honestly, the girls team, they all been together minus Bridget. Bridget was like the only girl on the Gophers left. So this was really like a tug of war because you got Gwen and LaShawn on one side, and then you got Lindsay and Heather on the other side. Then there's just Bridget, who's this newbie, and Heather is trying to play nice girl and manipulate her to because Heather's like we've been saying, Heather's down bad and she needs more numbers. And she needs a new Beth. And she was looking to make Bridget her new Beth, And then you got Gwen and Lashana who are like they're keeping it real. They're like, don't trust her, like she's fake, don't do it. So eventually, we're going to see Bridget. It seems take the Gwen and Lashana side because I think she can see through what Heather's doing, but it's like. I think she really wanted unity within the team. So, I mean, how did you guys feel about the girls' team's dynamic?
I mean, I was really happy that she chose. I mean, we'll see if it's actually what happens, but like chose Gwen and Lashana's side because I was afraid it would be just like a repeat of like Heather's little posse, and it would be the same thing again. And I'm hoping that it shifts the other direction. But again, we'll see. I guess when merge happens, who knows if that'll actually be the case. But
yeah, I really wish that the girls would have just came with us like camaraderie. At the end of the day, it's 5 women, 5 men. Gwen has control over a couple guys, and stuff like that. So if the girls would have came together, then Gwen would have been able to pull her guys to get early votes in, dwindle those guys down, and the girls could have went on a run. So I'm just so worried that like now this is gonna be a guy heavy end game. because of the girls being so anti each
Yeah.
other. Because if Heather could manipulate a couple guys to shoot at Gwen or Lashana, we'll see an early merge boot of Gwen or Lashana, unless Gwen or Lashana have enough pull to make it happen, vice versa. So I feel like the first vote for the merge will be a girl, just based on the drama we've seen on this girl's side.
And that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right on that. Like, because they are so fractured compared to the guys.
Yeah.
And it's like an easy pick off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then with the guys side, I mean, they just kind of like, they're good. I mean, honestly, going in here, it was just DJ, Duncan, and Jeff. They were already tight. Owen's like a guy's guy. And this is honestly like the first time we've seen Trent interact with another guy that's not Cody, I think. Am I wrong about that? I never seen Trent actually interact with another guy until this moment.
He's been in the infirmary for like 4 weeks.
Or with Gwen. So,
he's been basically dead the entire time.
And he's going right. He's right there.
Is there any standouts with the guys? Do you guys think that are they're just killing it right now? Or is it equal footing?
I think Duncan is in a decent spot. Mm-hmm. Also Trent. I mean, even though he had his little flotter, and I think DJ is a solid assassin. Like, I feel like he hasn't ruffled any type of feathers.
No.
And unless somebody just need an easy vote, I don't see them going for DJ no time soon. I can see him going deep in the end game.
All right. So we're going to finally get the challenge, and we find out that like Chris said earlier, no one's going home. It's a reward challenge, and basically winners get to go to a 5-star resort away from Camp Wawanaka where you get to eat, you get to get massages, and you can basically get medical treatment for whatever happens outside this challenge. Because this challenge is it's basically like an eating challenge. They're going to feed. It's like the Survivor challenge. They're going to feed you a bunch of disgusting stuff, and it goes until everyone, whoever has the most points. So, what you guys think about the challenge before we talk about the results?
I feel like it started off like a normal Survivor challenge with like bull testicles. Like, you see that all the time, but then it just gets so much worse with like the toenail soup and then DJ is eating a flip flop. I don't know, weird.
I was wondering what was the logic behind some of the stuff. Like you said, the beginning seemed very like gross food eating. Then it just turned into nonsense. like they said, it was basically like picking up things off a chef's bathroom floor. And then the grand all end all is the shot game where they're literally taking shots of cockroaches until one person could win, and we saw who the superstar was in that.
Yep.
Now, the interesting thing with here, editing wise, is that actually, like Sabrina said, the original take is bull testicles, but I think they edited it to America because they were like, oh, you can't have them say X, Y, and Z, so they changed it to bull meatballs on like some translations actually. And you'll see throughout, like you'll hear certain things, you'll be like, what the heck? But like they actually say the word freaking a lot, and they actually got that censored out. You guys would know because I don't know what version you're watching, but like if you're watching Netflix, they'll edit the word freaking out. They'll edit the words. There's some phrases in future episodes.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching Netflix, so I guess I'm getting the squeaky clean.
Yeah. But like, they're like, they usually, it was originally bull testicles, and they made it bull meatballs or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So interesting fun fact there. But yeah, I mean, you guys basically talked about the dishes. There wasn't much. I mean, I thought it was funny that the guys were acting like babies when they came to eating the bull testicles.
Yeah.
I mean, but think about it. Being babies. It was more so like, we was getting demasculated because it's like we're eating the testicles of a bull that had to get his balls ripped out. How would we feel if our balls was ripped out and someone had to eat those for a grocery food challenge? So put it in perspective, the girls was just like, we're a man eater.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, of course y'all would be. Sabrina, let me find out that you would just devour the bull testicles and we would feel so bad.
We know how eating challenges go.
Horrible. I hate eating challenges.
Yeah.
Like anyone know me from any live game I've ever played. Eating challenges is not my thing, and you'll soon find out my latest adventure on gross food eating. Make sure y'all check out coming soon. Victory House, The Mole season 3. It's coming in June, right? You'll be seeing
The end of
you'll be
June.
seeing some familiar faces in it. Maybe one of us, maybe the mole.
All right. So, another thing that was interesting, because I mean, obviously the girls won the bull testicles one, they couldn't do it. The guys couldn't do it. The next one, I believe, it was the pizza, like you guys were talking about, and
That was
um,
nasty.
yeah, that was gross. I mean, that was just like some
I
mess.
feel like that was the one that I could probably do. I could
Really?
I think
Whoa.
so. Yeah. Like I couldn't do the bull testicles. I couldn't do the foot soup. That's like absolutely disgusting. But the pizza, I think maybe because all it was is a fish and grasshopper.
Yo,
And a jellyfish.
the animation of it was so funny. Like the grasshopper.
What's funny is the grasshoppers, like they never left the slice of pizza.
No.
But it was going in a circle, but it
Circle.
never left the pizza. Like it was so weird.
Now the last thing that was interesting, real quick, I thought it was funny that Trent threw up and a bunny popped out. I don't know if that was DJ's rabbit
Oh my
or
god!
not.
Yeah, he went to the bathroom and he puked and it was like seeping out, and then
Yeah.
Bunny came out, and then the snake that ate original Bunny walked out.
Right.
And I was
With
like,
like
Bunny,
yeah.
the little lump in his stomach. I was like, no.
Now the last thing, before we get to the tiebreaker, I think it was the dolphin hot dogs, and this is where it got interesting because Beth was, I said Beth, Bridget was Bridget was she's a vegetarian or whatever, and you know she doesn't want to eat meat or something like that, and I think Jeff basically convinced her to do it, and Duncan's like, what the heck, like you're helping them win, and it looked like there was going to be some problems on the guy's side, but then they kind of fixed it up real quick. So that was interesting.
I also feel bad for Lindsay because she was saying, not Lindsay, Bridget, like she's a surfer.
Wow.
She's a surfer, and like she said, she swims the dolphin. Like that's like me eating a pet rabbit or me eating like a pet dog.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Weird.
I wouldn't be able to do this challenge, honestly.
Me either at all. Like people know I can't do a gross food eating. Like I could plug my nose all I want, still can't do it. I'm a texture guy, and as soon as I would have felt a little bit of a toenail, a little bit of a bull testicle, a little bit of a grasshopper, I'm done.
I would have tapped out after first round. I would have tapped out.
Take my L. Yeah. So when I get cast on Survivor, and we have a gross food eating. Just know, I'm probably sorry about it.
No, they do other foods. They're not really important. It gets to the last one, obviously, and they have to do a bunch of shots of cockroaches, blended cockroaches. That's gross. And it's Lashana versus Owen, and basically, Owen wins it. They rushed it, but it was really gross. And they love doing this when something nasty happens. They just all threw up all over the thing. Even Chris and Jeff and all of them threw up. So
they had one of the grasshoppers survive their stomach, and it was just like,
it's nasty.
That cockroach coming out like alive reminded me of the episode of Fairly Odd Parents where the cockroaches take over the world, and they're like world domination. I don't know if you guys remember that episode or not, but I think about how like they survive like nuclear attacks. They can probably survive stomach acid for a minute.
Now, like we said, this was just rewards, so no one's getting eliminated. The guys are going on their 5-star cruise for the rest of the episode, and the girls are bonding. And when I say bonding, it's Heather and Lindsay are locked out while the other girls are. That's the end. We get to see Bridget and Jeff are thinking about each other though. No. So I mean, but how did you guys feel about episode 14 on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, dislike, what's up?
I thought it was weird that like they Chris even mentioned that the merge was next, but they just didn't start with the merge. They were just like, oh, let's do a reward challenge with randomly swapped tribes just for fun, and then we're gonna merge. Like, I don't know, that was kind of strange.
Yeah, I found it so weird to me. I just was hoping that them giggling and laughing, it was going to be like, oh, well, we lied. Let's go to the marshmallow ceremony.
Yeah.
Like, I needed someone to go home, especially with the girls losing. I needed to know what Bridget would have done. Because right now, Bridget is that swing, and it would have been good to have a round where we would have saw what they would have done. Yeah. And also with the guys being so kumbaya, it would have been good to see what they would have done if they would have lost, you know?
I think, looking back, I think that what their attempt here is to really just get those cross-team interactions finally out of the way, so that doesn't need to be like eat up the majority of next episode. Like they probably didn't want to dedicate most of the episode to like, oh, how is Bridget going to interact with the girls? Oh, how are these guys going to interact with each other? You know, so
yeah,
I think. In hindsight, and I think is specifically for Bridget, the whole Bridget between Gwen and Lashana and Heather and Lindsay. I think that was what they were trying to establish. But I mean, that's headcanon. I don't really know. So there you have it. Real quick, rankings. Would you guys 1 and 10
of the episode?
Yeah,
that's about 5 for me.
Yeah, I was like a 6.
Okay. That's fine. All right, so now we get to go to the tier list. Yeah. And we're just gonna adjust the rankings. It's gonna be a lot faster this time. There's only 10 people to look at. So crazy. Numbers are dwindling down. Look at all these eliminated players down here.
Okay, that's good that Harold was a C.
Harold, the C list player, is the only one eliminated, so you guys are good.
All right, good.
Out of curiosity, if the girls did have to go to tribal or whatever they call bonfire, who do you guys think would have been eliminated?
Heather, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been it would have either been Heather or Lashana, because if Bridget would have been the deciding.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, with that being said, let's start from the top, work our way to the bottom. Gwen, so the first episode, that was 13. I don't think we got much from Gwen, right? Oh no, we did. It was the whole. So all right, I will say this: these last 2 episodes were honestly Bridget episodes, and I think Gwen established a friendship with Bridget. I will say that, and I think we also saw how close her and Lashana are. So I will say it seems like Gwen's making more friends outside of Trent now. That's what I will say. But how do you guys feel about Gwen here?
Love her. I think she's establishing more relationships outside of just Trent, which is huge for her, especially since Trent, is liked by pretty much all the guys. So she has a really good footing right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gwen has really good footing. Building that relationship with Bridget, who she never really had inter-team interactions with, I think is going to help her in the long run, because she still has, Trent. Seems like her and Lashana are real tight. And then with having Trent, she also has some of the guys. So I feel like she's in a really, really good spot for the end game. And I'm okay with leaving her as superior, because I don't think she'll go home as a first merge boot unless something crazy happens. And if that happens, hey, we gotta take our licks out.
If that happens, I quit.
So the next person is Duncan, because I guess you guys are keeping Gwen in S. So Duncan, you guys put him in A last time. He got his up. So episode 13 didn't really do much. I mean, hypothetically, he got one of his targets out being Harold, I guess, if we want to take anything away from that. Episode 14, I think episode 14 is a great episode for all the guys, honestly, because all the guys are just bonding and they're doing their thing. Like they had him and Jeff had a little like argument, but it wasn't like long lasting. So it's like all the guys, honestly, great episode 14. Right. And so how you guys feel about Duncan?
For me, I think Duncan is in by moving him up last week, I had a lot of hope for him. I'm just worried based on like I see him being very expendable to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say for me to keep him in tier A for me.
I think Courtney leaving really hurt his position. Because I think that would have been a really strong alliance for him and like a lot of good connection because of Courtney. So yeah, I also think he needs to move down.
Okay. Duncan moving down. All right. So next is Owen. You guys dropped him from S to B last week. Honestly, Owen is just doing Owen. Like, he's just bonding with guys, doing the Owen type thing. Nothing really crazy these last two episodes. He's just kind of being Owen, getting his one-liners in. And technically he won that challenge for the reward challenge for the guys as well. There is that.
True.
How do you guys feel about Owen?
For me, Owen, I just the reason why we moved him down is because we don't feel he's making those solidified bonds that would get him to have a group, a voting block, or whatever. I just see people be like, "Oh, it's Owen," like, and yeah, not target him, but I don't see him having no core alliance. So, yes, I still see him not moving up. For me, he could possibly move down, but I'll go with the collective of what Sav has to say.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like Owen, he's liked by everybody, and he has good connections with the guys, but he doesn't have really any connections with the girls. And I feel like the girls are really going to control the rest of the game. Like, I feel like they're going to be the ones to influence the relationships and the voting more so than I think the guys will. And then Owen's just kind of there. Like, I don't think he'll be like, first boot or anything, but like, I still think he hasn't made that like solid alliance that's gonna take him like super far.
Mhm.
I kind of want to like rank everybody else and then go back to him because like I see him both ways too. I see him both staying at B and also moving down to C, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, we can leave him there for now.
All right. DJ, the first episode, he kind of won that challenge for his team, one of the parts, but that was it. The second episode, like I said with the other guys, just bonded. They won the challenge. They're just establishing friendships, and there you go. It's honestly all the guys kind of, maybe other than like maybe Jeff, have like the same kind of critique. So DJ, how do you guys feel about DJ?
I don't know. I feel like DJ's like getting better each episode. I feel like he's becoming more present. He's starting to win challenges now, and he, as far as we know, he has a solid group with Duncan and Jeff, right? It's him, Duncan,
Yeah.
and Jeff. Yeah, so like
Yes.
that's important to think about. And I don't know. I like his character too.
Yeah, same with DJ. Like his character has definitely been top tier. Like it was like slowly but surely has been growing, and then like we finally see him has like solidified bonds. So I easily see him being incorporated really well with the guys, and with him being incorporated with the guys, that opens himself up to some of the girls. So I'm definitely okay with leaving DJ where he's at, and then we just got to see what he brings in the first person in the merge because he's definitely held his own in a lot of challenges. So I could definitely see him being someone who could win a couple challenges, well, that would bring people closer to him.
Yeah.
All right, and then so next we have the C-listers. Heather. Let's see the first episode. They won the challenge. Heather, honestly, nothing big other than like the whole Harold situation, but that didn't really result to anything. Honestly, Heather came in this episode a certain way, and she's kind of leaving this episode the same with her rivalry with Gwen and Lashana. And I don't know if Beth dislikes her or anything. I just think that she wants her to pick a side. Oh my god, yeah. Bridget, and it's like I don't know if Bridget likes Heather or not, but it seems like Heather doesn't like her because she's not picking her. So Heather's kind of just leaving this episode the same exact way she came in. How do you guys feel about Heather?
She's not doing herself any favors. Like she, of course, she tried to get Bridget on her side, but like it was just so outright fake. Like it wasn't even like she's trying to be sly about it. Like she was just straight up like, "Oh, that's be buddies now. And Bridget's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Heather's like, because like I feel like at first Heather was so like good at being like sneaky and like getting her way without people really knowing what she was doing, and she was doing a great job at it. And now she's just like doesn't even care anymore. She's just like letting out in the open how she is. Like she's just, and it's not working for her.
Yeah, I think with Heather, either she's gonna go really, really soon, or she's gonna make it far. Weird to say. That's just how I see it. If she gains a little more traction and could get a couple more people under her wing, I could see her going really far. So I'm okay with leaving her as top C.
Yeah.
But you know, the trajectory of her game will be determined in the next 2 episodes that we watch, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So she will stay exactly where she's at. Lindsay, just like Heather, came in and left out the same exact way. I honestly, episode 14 is really like a stalemate because it's just a reward challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, only Bridget got some sort of edit. But Lindsay, yeah, just came in the same way she left out, you know. So how do you guys feel about Lindsay?
I feel like the same kind of thing with Heather. Like, I feel like Lindsay like is one of the few characters who like has basically stayed the same the entire season.
Yeah.
Like, not a whole lot of character development. Like we know she's very predictable. We know what she's gonna do. We know how she's gonna like act in these challenges. Like, yeah, I don't know. She's just kind of like build the road kind of for me.
She's definitely been that follower to Heather, and when she tried to break off, we saw a little bit hope in that. But then this episode determined that she's gonna stick by Heather until she's dead, and that's gonna be her demise in this game. I honestly see her going before Heather, just based off the fact of Heather's persuasiveness, and if Heather knows that the vote is on her or her girl, I can see Heather being the type to vote her girl out because she keeps her here another week. So I see Heather being the demise of Lindsay's game. So she's definitely not moving up. I honestly, personally, will move her to D because she really has not done much this season, and I'm surprised we even had her where she had last.
Oh, drop her.
Yeah.
Okay. Lindsay's going. Oh, I said hosting show.
She had a
Lindsay's
host.
going. All right. Next is Trent, and you know, broken record, but came in the same way he left out. You know, he's going, but actually no, because he actually has friends now. He actually interacts with people outside of Gwen this time. So, you know, he seems to be making friendships with the other guys. And I don't think anyone dislikes Trent out of this entire cast now that I'm looking at it. So, yeah, how do you guys feel about Trent?
I mean, it's good that he is interacting with the guys now. He's got more connections for sure. Still tight with Gwen, which is good for him. But he sucks at the challenges. So at this point, now it's coming to merge. He's not going to win anything. I mean, he might, but the trajectory does not look good for him. So that could spell trouble for him. I mean, he's okay. He's not one of my favorite characters. Another one where he's like not a whole lot of development going on, but I think he's better positioned than some of the other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for me, Trent is definitely better positioned, but no character development. But we also seen that he's not as tough as we maybe thought he was. So I think you know, maybe in the merch area, he will showcase like, well, actually, I can do this, I can do that, and I can win. But yeah, I don't see them taking him out really soon. I think he still have a lot going on with like the whole Gwen thing and stuff like that. So I think he's in a decent spot. So I think he's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just keep him there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next is Jeff with a G. So Jeff and Bridget, like I said, were like really the only people to get edits. I would say Jeff was like the other guys, but I think he's kind of exposed himself to be willing to do stuff for Bridget outside of his better interest. Yeah. So, you know, what are you guys' thoughts on Jeff here?
Yeah, and that's not. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, that's not a good thing. Like because like I feel like that might come to a head where he might start doing that again, and then maybe his like guy alliance will be like, why are you helping Bridget out, like kind of thing. But I feel like with Trent and Gwen, it's a little not secretive, but like Trent can do it like in a better way to where it's not as open and overt.
Yeah.
Like Jeff just has no smoothness. Like he just doesn't like. Yeah.
Honestly, Jeff with a G. I've been anti Jeff with a G a lot in this game, and for him to make it as far as he making it, I'm shocked,
Yeah.
surprised. I hope he gets like the Joe Ingram and gets out first of merge, so I don't have to even worry about seeing him because I feel there's so many more other people that I would love to see. Yeah, Jeff with a G could go. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I had to pick one person that I had sole control on getting rid of next week. It would be Jeff with a G. Period.
All right.
So, are we keeping him there, Sab?
Sure. I still think he's in a better spot than Lindsay is. So
Okay.
Keep him there.
Okay.
All right. And lastly, we got our D-listers. Lashana, now we see has Harold, who was gone, but she had someone who was interested in her. But as far as with people left in the game, I think this episode showed that Gwen and Lashana are like close, and they like each other. They're good friends now. And other than like Heather and maybe Lindsay, I don't think anyone else dislikes Lashana. I think it's strictly just it's like Lashana versus Heather, and battle of whoever stays the longest between those two. With their generals, Lindsay and Gwen, or with their generals, maybe Lashana's the general, or maybe Gwen's the general. I don't know, but So how do you guys feel about Lashana?
I think Lashana needs to move up because she has won multiple challenges. She won two in the last, for the most part. Like she won the moose bucking thing, and then she got close to the end for the eating challenge. And she's got Gwen as a close pair, kind of with Bridget in there. And I think she has the power to rally Lindsay against Heather, because that sort of almost happened once, and so I think she can do it. And then none of the guys dislike her either. So I think she's in a really good spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lashana needs to move up in front of Heather. I feel like Lashana, we moved her down because we want to see more from her. Yeah. And she showcased more just in those 2 episodes. Shows that she can be a calm beast. Also shown that she can be strategic and manipulative. If she could keep Bridget on her and Gwen's side, and that also means that if she's on Gwen's side, she also has Trent, etc. So, I think she's in a decent spot.
Yeah.
Where in C are we putting her? Are we putting her above Jeff?
Before Heather.
Yeah.
Oh, right here?
Before Heather.
No, before.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, top of C for Lashana. All right. Woo. And lastly, we got Bridget. Bridget is now, it seems, cool with Gwen and Lashana. I don't think Heather likes her, or if Heather doesn't like her, then that means Lindsay's not going to like her. Mm-hmm. But her and Jeff are getting super close, but it's kind of becoming blatantly obvious, and Duncan is specifically noticed that. So how do we feel about Bridget here?
Oh, is Lindsay about to be the only D tier person we have?
Are we setting ourselves up for failure?
I feel like these last 2 episodes, they were very Bridget heavy, for sure. And we finally got a little bit more of her, which we haven't really seen yet, which was great. She definitely could be a swing vote, which is a very powerful position, which, if that's the case, then she could really change this game, which puts her in a great spot, because they're not going to vote her out because they need her vote. The connection with Jeff, I think, is very important, because Jeff's got all the connections with the guys. And then if Bridget is with Lashana and Gwen and they become the numbers, then that's good for her too. Mm-hmm. So I think she should move up, but I don't think she should go up like super high. Like I think
she needs to be at least above Jeff, maybe Trent.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I low-key think Jeff needs to move down on side of Lindsay. That's just my thought.
Honestly, that's fine with me. Like, Jeff can be wherever.
And then now let's revisit Owen. I think DJ needs to be in front of Owen.
Yes.
But Owen can have one more week since he was superior a lot before we surpass Lashana from him.
Yeah, I like that.
All
No
right.
A's this week.
No
Whoa.
A's. So you guys think Gwen is hands down playing the best
Get it, girl.
game?
Come
Hey, she's
on,
playing the
Gwen.
best game, low key. Like
Come
low
on,
key, she's playing the
Gwen.
best game.
I'm rooting for you.
All right. Is Chef still the favorite over Chris, by the way?
Hell yes.
100%.
Always will
All
be.
right. And lastly, to update the
Not
draft,
me this time.
I mean, you
Lance
got like
does
60,000
not lose
people compared to
somebody.
me.
So Lance, you got like what 4 more, and then you guys are good. So.
And also, Bridget is showcasing that she's a force. But then Bridget is going to be the reason that Heather goes. And then Owen is just not making alliances. So my team is screwed. Okay.
Okay.
Only time will tell.
Don't give up yet.
Mhm.
We'll see. We got 2 episodes next week. So if you lose 2 people next week, then I'm going to breathe, okay? I needed 2 people to go.
So before we close out, so what do you guys need to see? What do you guys want to see going into episodes? The next episodes that we're gonna watch.
Cornelius' return.
Hey, battle back. Let's go.
I want
Right.
to see Courtney back in the game.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
But no, I really want to see gameplay like really showcase it. It's the individual portion of the game. I want to see people shine.
Yes.
That's what we look forward for in Survivor every year. So now I'm watching Total Drama Island like it's Survivor. So you need to step it up, baby.
Yeah. Because like there was some strategy like towards the very, very beginning, but there really hasn't been any since then. It's been very obvious boots for the most part of like who did the worst in the challenge or whatever it was. So now hopefully because it's individual, only one person wins the challenge. That means they're gonna have to talk and strategize about like who should go home. So yeah, definitely excited to see that and to see like what people's reasonings are gonna be for like voting people out, especially with the guys because they're also like kumbaya right now. Like who knows, like if it's gonna be like one little slip up that causes somebody to go home, or if it's like the inner dynamics of the group of the guys, like who's like which 3 is stronger than the other 2. Like it'll be really interesting to see the actual like numbers, like where they lie.
Yeah.
All right. And out of curiosity, instead of top 3, who are your top 2 favorite people out the final 10?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with DJ and Gwen. It's my first time I said her.
Those are my favorite 2 right now.
Yeah.
Gwen and DJ, yeah.
All right. And I mean, you're going to see at the beginning of the next episode anyway, so I can say it. So you guys been waiting for it for a while, and it is finally merged next episode. It's literally right at the beginning. And you hinted at it. I mean, I'm not going to say who, but we may or may not see not 1 but 2 people return. So we will see. But anyway, with that, you gotta watch it. But
okay, I'm gonna have to watch the episodes tonight. Before I go to bed. I'm too tired tonight. I'm too tired.
But that's what we got to look forward to. The game is finally about to start.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically the people come back. Whoever originally drafted them, that's who get them back.
You get them back if you drafted them. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, who do you guys want to see come back? I mean, obviously Courtney. Who else?
Absolutely, Courtney.
And I could deal with Cody. I could deal with like Cody as the
okay.
as
he had a good arc. So like
it started growing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I watch. It's gonna be like a Sadie Katie.
Only time will tell. I can't say anything.
But what about Justin, the hot guy?
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's like pretty bad for ratings.
No, I'm trying to think. Let's look at the eliminated people real quick one time. I said.
Why? Yeah, why not? Why not? Hold on, let me pull it back up. I gotcha. This is fun. Screen share. Yeah, that's a good conversation. Why not?
Just real quick.
No, you got. All right. So this is your drafts. Go right here. So these are the eliminated people right here. My close up for you.
Okay. So. Ooh.
Not that. Hold on.
Okay.
It was better the other way.
Yeah, I would just leave it the way it was. All right. So these are eliminated people. You got Zeke. So let me go down the line. You guys want Zeke?
No.
I'll use it.
I'm okay.
Do you guys want Eva?
I could actually see her in the individual stage though, but nah, not
individual comps for sure. But like she has no social or social.
No, yeah.
All right. How about Noah?
Nah.
Justin.
I could see it.
I think it'd be just like kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like it'd be immediately booted.
Oh, okay.
How about Katie?
No.
How about Tyler?
Nah.
Nah.
Izzy?
Yes, I want her
Nah.
back. She's
You,
hilarious to me. She's like
you want her back?
crazy.
I mean, yeah, she did have that crazy exit, so it would be cute.
That would just be funny to me.
Cody?
Yeah,
Yes,
I like
I
him back.
would.
Beth?
I
Yes,
want
I
Beth
would.
back. Beth
I
was
would
like
want her back too.
she was on an up and up, and then that stupid tiki thing like threw her off.
Oh, but
Like
that also would be a number for Heather. No, she was anti-Heather.
Would it though? Because she was anti.
she was
Yeah.
anti at the end. Like she went with
She
what
was. She was
Shauna.
over it. She was standing her ground. You're right.
All right. How about Sadie?
No.
Nah.
Courtney?
Queen.
Obviously.
Period. She
Would
better
you?
be
Do
one
you
of
guys
them.
want to see Harold come back?
I would actually be okay.
I'll be okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's my four: Beth, Cody, Courtney, Harold.
Yeah.
Two of them I'm okay with.
Yeah, me too.
All
Any
right.
two of them. Oh, and you like Izzy, so I could do that.
Yeah.
We will see if you guys are right or wrong, but that's what you have to look forward to the next episode.
So excited.
Right at the beginning. So we'll go to a final 12 merge, and everyone will be playing individual games for the first time. So there you go. That's our review for Total Drama episodes 13, 14. We are halfway. I think we're halfway there. The Total Drama Island is the biggest cast, so that's why it's such a long season. So the other seasons are not this long. But yeah, this season's long. Yeah, but I mean, are you guys enjoying it still?
Oh, definitely enjoying it.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's
so we're just going to close out. So I'm uploading this tomorrow. So hypothetically today, later tonight, guys should be able to see since it's Tuesday. Oh, Sariel is going to be going live for the Big Brother Hangout podcast with special guests from Big Brother 12 and in the Brigade, Matt Hoffman. So Matt will be with Sarah tomorrow. That would be fun to see. As well as Carrie might be doing the Circle UK recap. We were going to check on that. I don't know if she will be able to or not, but that should be fun. But that is tomorrow. There's a lot of changes going on.
The Circle US is coming on the 14th, and me and Sabrina actually know one of the cast members. I had the privilege of casting him in Survivor Row for season 7. Thick as Thieves, and Sabrina literally
voted him out.
She played Big Brother Columbus with the kids, so it's gonna be exciting to see Jack play the game. I personally feel that he's gonna be a catfish. That's just my initial thought process, but we'll see.
I could totally
maybe you guys can talk to Carrie about it when she starts to. So that'll be fun.
That's so awesome.
Oh, and lastly, we are starting a Patreon around here. So sometime this week, look out for that. Awesome. And all these other changes. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, we have a video intro. I didn't put that in here yet, but that we got a lot of stuff coming over here. So that's it for us. So Sabrina, where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Sabrizi2492 down here. Go to Victory House Productions on YouTube to check out the trailer promo for Victory House Presents The Mole, where Lance and I were, castmates on the show. So check it out. It'll be dropping in June. And then check out the Penthouse is filming season 4 in May. And so hopefully episodes will be dropping in the summer. So keep an eye out for that as well.
All right. How about you, Lance?
Yes, you can find me at I am King Lance on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me. I got a lot of things in the works. I'm a busy guy, a tired guy, but I'm happy to be here and I enjoy you even having me. Make sure y'all continue to look out for Black Boys Watch. Find us on Twitch as well as Twitter at Black Boys Watch. Also, you'll be seeing me a little bit more on Silent Podcast with I'll be with Geneva and
Sasha.
Sasha, yeah. Sorry about that. I was about to call her.
You go.
That's why I didn't want to say
too. And Carrie too. She couldn't make the first one either, but
so
they are.
Yeah, you'll see me on the Challenge All Stars episode discussions moving forward. So that's going to be exciting because the challenge is nostalgia for me, and having those all-stars back, those OGs, it's going to be so fun to talk about. I'm sad that I missed the first one. I was stuck in the airport all day, but I will be there moving forward, so look out for you, boy.
All right. And lastly, you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers on all socials. I started Twitch streaming a lot recently, so you can find me on that same username. And as well with Silent Podcast, if you're listening to this on via a different platform, Silent Podcast, literally. And we have a new Twitter page, silent_podcast. So please go follow that and look out for all of our updates on there, as well as that Twitch channel and all that other fun stuff. Like I said, a lot of changes are going to go on, so expect that within the next week or two. But until then, have a good one and have a good night.
Peace, peace.